Welcome to this quick tutorial video on ILS. So we are presently heading from CYSH to CYGK, and we're just about to hit our last waypoint, Miglo. Now, we do not have an approach loaded. I found that loading an approach from the EFB does not work properly, so you have to load the approach basically after you start the plane. So we're going to actually load it now. Approach through Obram. And this way we actually have all the waypoints correctly loaded. So one thing we want to do is start our descent to this approach so that we can intercept the ILS at the correct altitude. So what I want to do is use the advisory VNAV feature. I'd like to be at MAVOG at 2100 feet, so I'm going to type 2100 here. And I can see that to achieve that altitude at that waypoint, right now I'd have to descend at 630 feet. So I'm going to wait a little bit, just make it as fast as possible. Propeller was not in sync, turns out. Alright, so 6,000 feet. Zoom in a little bit here. So we loaded this approach, but it did not actually load the ILS frequency for us. So neither here nor in this nav section do we see the correct ILS frequency for CYGK. I'm going to load it now. 111.3. Alright, so now it's preloaded. Let's go back to our VNAV. Okay, we should start our descent. Vertical speed. Give us about 840 feet per minute. Slow down. Not too much. Zoom in here. And just keep watching this RNAV target here. So we actually need to set our altitude to 2100 feet in order to do this descent properly. Once again, vertical speed 800 feet per minute. Watch our speed. Just keep going. So I will accelerate time a little bit here. This is not 2020. One thing I noticed here is after passing Obram, the vertical speed required from MAVOG jumped all of a sudden from about 800 to 1200. So calculations seem to change a little bit if you once you get into the actual approach. So very soon I'm going to switch to approach mode, and then I will have to switch to localizer mode to get the vertical guidance. I'll switch my nav source to VOR1, which has our ILS frequency. Alright, I'll hit approach mode here. Probably want to slow down a little bit because we can overshoot this turn. Okay, so we have our, again, we're on altitude select. Guidance is still from the FMS, so by waypoint. I'm going to switch to VOR1 now. And my localizer is actually pointing in the opposite direction, so click on the course button, right click, and now it's pointing in the correct direction. And I see my glide slope indicator shown here and gliding down, sliding down. Glide slope is armed. I'm not quite sure why it starts off pointing in the opposite direction, but this is something to watch for. Landing lights. Can. Propeller sync off. And let's just watch for that vertical guidance to start. Here we go. Glide slope is green. Getting vertical guidance now. We're locked onto localizer. And at this point, just set up the aircraft for the approach. Feather back on. Not sure why I'm not seeing the wind vector in any view. Maybe there's no wind today. Let's power a bit. Autopilot off. Here we go. Alright, I'll just end this here. Hope you enjoyed watching this.